Is it safe to invest your money in React protocol? Well, guys, together, I invite you to find out with me. What do you say? Sit back, let's check this out. So far, we have been talking about React, the React protocol, the Rebase aggregator capital or ETF fund or whatever you want to call it, that token that maximizes those automatic staking and automatic compounding protocols. So, it's really, really nice on paper. But is it safe? And this is what we're going to check right now. We already looked at the white paper, but when we glance over this white paper and we want to move to the roadmap, then the first thing that we see on the roadmap is a whole lot of steps that have been completed so far. So like the smart contract creation, Twitter, blah, 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 you can read all this. The first thing they see here is the KYC, know your customer. So that means the identification of the protocol owner. Between you and me, this is basically the thing that we started to do in DeFi and blockchain to avoid rug pulls.
So the market cap is $2.168 trillion. And now the market, it went to zero.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. We don't want that. So KYC is important. Then right below that, we see the audits. Audits are very important as well, because I know that you are not proficient at reading code, especially solidity is, So we have these audit firms that do all the code reading for us, but of course, you still need to read their reports. Over here, we have, of course, the protocol, React, Rebase aggregator capital. It has been audited. CoinScope has audited the contract. But then we see some weird things like, we don't like to see the red one over here. The yellow one, we don't want that either. All the rest is really, really fine. So let's look at the ones that are really, really bad, right? The first one, the red one, says owner transfer users tokens. But what does this mean? The second one, stop transactions. Yeah, sure. You and I, we both can read, but what does this exactly mean? When you click on these things, nothing happens. It just singles it out to show within the chart which issue we are dealing with. Now we enter a GitHub page, and this is where you can actually read the whole report all out. The things that I really, really think are important are here: the contract analysis, contract diagnostics. There is a little bit of a contract review. This will explain exactly what the protocol does. But then at the end, there's also a summary. Caution, advice, disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. Let's move down. First thing, contract analysis. There are some unverified libraries being used by the contract that cannot be read by the audit. So this is why they state this in the audit. It's important to know there are some parts of the library being used that they have not been able to check completely. Keep that in mind. Now, here we have again all these codes, but you have to know that in the meanwhile, probably everything has been resolved for all this to be passed. Now, there is a description, very technical, code-based stuff about how they could solve the issues or the vulnerabilities that they found within the contract. It's not about scamming and all these things. Take these things out of your heads, guys. But, you know, next thing I thought was good to know. This is the domain info. And let's go over this. React.ac, we all know the website, right? Registry domain ID is something, 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 donuts. Can you see it? Donuts here. Here is the creation date, update date, blah, 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 expiration date. This domain is only valid for 1 year. They only took it right now for 1 year. The Whois server, so they used namecheap.com to register this domain, but there is the summary. So the React token is an interesting project, just like I said, right? That has a friendly and growing community. Also, I said that in the last video. Really, really nice community. Smart contract analysis reported no compiler errors or critical issues. There is also a limit of maximum 25% fees to buys, sells and direct transfers, and 30% max fee limit to snipe fee. So honestly, I don't know what the snipe fee is. If you know that, please enlighten me in the comment section below, because, you know, I'm never too old or never too mature to learn, right? So caution is advised. That's one that we really, really want to read. Can you see this? Yeah, okay. Caution is advised. A great amount of code lines are not audited as they extend an unverified library and therefore are not visible or included in the scope of the audit. Now, let that sink in, guys. What happened with the chart, right? We had this really nice start. Price was going up, shooting to the moon. Then probably whitelist pre-sale guys taking their profits and doing their thing, buying back in. This is also where I bought also more on my position. Then the price was really making this nice wedge shape, and instead of breaking up, it started tumbling down and down and down, she wrote. Now this shows that there is a lack of confidence in the market, and what I think is that this audit has something to do about it. Because think about it. If people think that in the audit there are still some vulnerabilities or some ways for developers to modify or do something to the code so that it's not immutable, then people often get skittish. Now, usually you would say, let's go to the KYC. They are KYC'd and then there's no risk for a rug pull, but they have not verified or received the KYC back. Normally, there's an AMA happening today by Obsidian, and Obsidian is the firm that the React team is getting KYC'd with. So basically, guys, this is probably not an issue. there's still a lack of faith, but imagine, as soon as this KYC is going to be in, the reaction, pun intended, is going to be massive. Are we still early in this project? My opinion, Jesus, what do you think? Come on, 4 days, 5 days in? Yeah, this is early. Second question that you need to ask yourself, do you think that this project, that this idea is sustainable, or do you think that it's just going to happen like all the others? Remember, no token dilution. There's no token printer going on. There's no locking up of AVAX that you lost forever, and then you get these high crazy returns that, the next people stepping in pay for you. Now, there are the taxes, and then there are the dividends that you receive on top made from using other protocols. And how much are these dividends? Well, you know what? Hey, let's look at my portfolio here. Well, as you know, last video I was still very, very little, very tiny little. But, like I said, on the way down, I just DCA'd like there was no tomorrow. And yeah, I grew my position like 3 or 4 times more, something like this. Basically, I think I dragged my entry price down to more or less 3 cents. So looking here, we do have 14,488 React tokens with a value of $356. What has it made so far? Realized gains, the things that I have already received, because this auto claims every time you buy more, every time you interact with the protocol, then it claims. I would have preferred just letting it in the unclaimed portions so I could show it, but that's good too. Realized gains so far, 0.1 AVAX, pending rewards, 0.012 AVAX. So, basically, I don't think that I'm doing bad. Is this a degen 8% per day strategy? No. But honestly, I don't give about these things. What I want is to find something that actually works so we can start putting money in savings accounts without having to make even more crazy stuff than when I used to be trading. That's why I stopped trading. I love trading. It's very profitable. But, eventually you want to find the way to live your life and retire. Well, you could call this retire. I call it retire. You could call it just get freedom, financial freedom. This is what we are all chasing, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to keep chasing financial freedom with me and try to figure out for yourself how to work this crazy, crazy space of DeFi and magic money, then stay tuned, subscribe, hit the bell and thumbs up and all these things, and then see me on the next video. I will see you too. Peace out, guys. Yeah, that's a peace sign. That's a peace sign. Yeah.